Oh yeah! Oh yes, we are here, people! And you know what's happening. We are live, baby, and we are live streaming with our first guest coming to you live from the Skypes. We got Jay Thomas of the Rewatch Podcast. You got to check him out on anywhere you can get podcasts.
Oh yeah,
from
it's all over the place.
Anywhere, all over the place, man. Jay, how are you doing? You've seen Andor. We're going to be reacting to the trailer. We're going to be reviewing it. We're going to be talking about it. We're also going to be promoting the Rewatch Podcast as well. Everything else included. Let me get your audio one more time, Jay. One more. Sorry, we're doing everything live. It's our first time. Yeah, go ahead and just talk about Rewatch really quick and what you thought about Andor.
Yeah, so you can check out the podcast either at yourfortdodge.com. There's a podcast section, or you can get it on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, basically anywhere that you get podcasts, you can listen to it. So, yeah, check it out. We talk about movies, old movies, new movies, good movies, really awful, terrible movies that are just super fun. Yeah, it's a blast. I got a new one coming up this week of just stuff I've watched lately that is streaming, and yeah, there's some goofy ones, let me tell you. I'm excited.
Fantastic,
and Andor
dude.
has been, I can't wait for Andor.
And the Rewatch Podcast is anything that has been released in the past or present or not. Yeah, right? Basically?
Yeah, and I follow the motto of, like, if you see something you really want to see it and you're not really sure about it, give it a rewatch. Watch it again, because, your expectations might cloud your judgment of what the actual movie is, which I think definitely relates to Star Wars, because everybody's expectations are always, like, huge for what Star Wars should be to them, and you really can't go into it like that. You're always going to come out disappointed. So yeah, I think this will.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this series a lot.
The thing is that the Star Wars fandom has been told to be kind of toxic, and I want to be on the light side and not the dark side of the Star Wars fandom. I want to be more upbeat and happy, and that's why I think I'm trying to be more upbeat and happy about Andor, which is what we're going to be discussing. Boom, today. It's in the titles in the below portion. Now, you've seen this trailer already.
I did, yeah. I watched it a couple times, and I love Rogue One. Like, it became instantly one of my favorite Star Wars movies, of like the whole franchise. Totally. And when I first saw it, I was like, it was okay. But then it was this weird thing of, like, I just kept thinking about it. And so then I saw it again in the theater, and back when you could go to the theater all the time. And then
right.
I've ever since I got it, afterwards, I've watched it a bunch of times, and yeah, I love Rogue One, so I was really excited when they were going to do this one.
I thought Rogue One was tremendous. I also like Solo, though. Like, I didn't think Solo was bad either. So I liked Rogue One. I liked Solo.
Solo's grown on me. I didn't like Solo at first.
Right.
Because the same with all these they're not prequels, but, like, side stories. I don't know how necessary they are. And, like, Solo, for sure, I was like, I don't know that we needed this story or not. But then I've watched it again, and I like it more every time I watch it.
I think it would have done better as a show on Disney Plus.
I do too.
Like, that's why I think they're doing Lando. So, and Lando's going to be a great show, but I don't know how they're going to get around, like, the whole Kathy Kennedy does this one recast or whatever. Like, I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually going to end up happening or not.
Yeah, right? I don't know how they could even... Anyway, so let's get to Andor. Let's watch the official trailer. I'm down. I'm excited. This is super duper cool. Jade, you got it pulled up on your end over there?
I got it up. Let me know when you want me to hit play.
Cool. And I got you in a double windows scenario, so let me just kind of scoot you down over here really quick. But I do already have you there in the main window. Okay, and I'm just going to... So we're going to go to Andor, and we're both going to just do this live. That's how I like to do it. That's how I like to roll. So let's get Andor official trailer pulled up. And this is my first time having a guest on the show live via Skype. And I have to say, Jay, you're doing a tremendous job. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I hope it works.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm watching the feed right now, and you're coming through, and I got you on the YouTube, and everything's pulled up. So, so do you got, by the way, do you got the YouTube trailer for Andor?
I do. I've got it up and ready to go.
Tight. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna hit play now in 3. So it'll be on fun, not after fun.
Okay.
On fun. Okay.
On fun.
3, 2, fun. Okay. Wow.
It's already like just depressing.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars is so upbeat. Like, it's good though, but it's like I want a more. Oh, I love the Senate.
I know.
Senate
I was
shot.
so excited when I saw that.
They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Oh snap! He's in their house.
He looks like Paul McCartney with a beard. I'm sorry.
Kinda.
He looks great though.
What I'm asking is that
All this looks awesome.
Yeah, it really does. Like the shipyards, and it's the beginning of the Empire. I mean, it's just awesome.
It's so industrial.
Yeah. That's the way Star Wars was originally.
You're right. Yeah, nuts and bolts, right?
For the greater good.
call it what you will.
Skarsgård.
Let's call it war.
Forrest Whitaker returns with his crazy eye.
Dude. The music too is the similar. Remember that? Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I should be saying more, but I keep just getting lost in the visuals of this trailer.
It's beautiful.
I think some of this is going to be in Coruscant too, which I love that in the prequels.
Oh, I
love
hope
that
so.
city.
They haven't done Coruscant enough in the modern era,
I know. There's that glimpse of it in Rogue One, and I loved it.
right?
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation.
You gotta have a Mon Mothma, right? She's not, but
Yes.
she's like,
What are you really doing?
You finally get more at her. Like,
right?
she was always just kind of like, you knew that there was something big about her, but she never did anything.
This looks great.
Yeah. It actually looks like a war thing.
It's like they paid attention to Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this leads right to Rogue One or not. I'm not sure if
Well, I
they're
just
going to
mean-
allow for more seasons or what, but
3-episode premiere? Wait a minute. Did
yeah,
they
3
say-
episodes right away. We're getting
Dude!
spoiled.
Okay, now it's time for the breakdown. So I just got this on a replay loop. You can do that if you want on your end with the volume muted, just so I can kind of. So we got it playing right now as like a recap. And wow, I'm just kind of playing it and just sort of we're doing the commentary part. This looks really good.
I am bummed though that the robot's not going to be in it though.
Oh, the Empire bot, right?
Is it like K2 or something like that?
K2SO. Yeah, K2S.
Excuse me.
Alan Tudyk. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll be in like the final episode or something
Yeah.
like that.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But dude, this is too cool, right? Like this just.
I just love the Senate being back in it, and it's funny because that was sort of like the boring stuff in the prequels, but I loved the visuals of the prequels. Like I love the way they looked.
Yeah.
So but this looks like a dirty version of it, which I really enjoy.
I'm appreciating the fact that it's in line production design wise with Rogue One. Makes sense because you're going there, but like the idea that this is so much more industrial and beaten down, like you said earlier, as soon as it started, you're like, it's more depressing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's grimy, and I mean, it doesn't look like Mandalorian. It doesn't look like Boba Fett or Obi-Wan, which is good. They should all look different after. And this one was such a different movie stylistically than the rest of them.
Big
So
time. And
yeah.
The thing that I really am enjoying about this is the sort of the scope of it. Again, it doesn't. I keep thinking it's a movie. Like I'm like
it looks
no,
like it.
like just like Mando and all the other ones. I'm like, this is looking movie-like to me, and they have the money. It's Disney. It's Lucasfilm. They have all the toys, and they can do everything digitally. They can do everything that you've seen the set, the dome, the big dome set.
So it's awesome.
God, I wish every town in the world, in America and the world, had a dome set like that. You could just go and film movies at, right?
Well, and they had they're gonna have 13 episodes for this too, so it's the longest of their
Oh, really?
shows. Yeah, Marvel and Disney, so it's gonna be the biggest one so far.
That's really exciting. And also, they had that one scientist dude. Did you see him? The multiple armed scientist guy with the goggles on.
Yeah.
That dude really, like, I always want to see one of those characters pop up again, because I'm like, they can just pull from so many different creature galleries and everything.
Yeah, and that's so fun when they do that, when they just pop them in there, and it's like, oh, I remember that from.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
and then the shots that we have of them sort of hiding out and It's you're right about the war thing. Like they're really embracing, like Rogue One did, the whole war thing.
Yeah, Rogue One is the first one that felt like a war movie. Like it
Big
really
time.
put the war in Star Wars.
And making it feel almost again that sort of industrial dropped down low. Like this is a heavy world, man. Like this is gonna
and
be
Forrest
heavy.
Whitaker gets crazier every time he's, or not really Forrest Whitaker necessarily, but like
We must
character.
stop them. We must.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I laughed so hard in the theater. Like he was one of the things I'm like, do I like this movie? Like, is this one that good?
Yeah,
Because
right.
he does it so big.
Save the Empire. No, wait,
Yeah.
no, don't save the Empire. Save the rebellion. Save the dream, or whatever his thing was. God,
Yeah,
I was so
but
into that.
I
It's
like
so
how
stupid, but
how into Star Wars have you been? Like, have you watched like the animated stuff too?
oh my God. So when it comes to Clone Wars, I dipped in and out, right?
Mhm.
But Rebels, I'm all the way Rebels. Like,
Well, and I love like from the beginning when you see like Forrest Whitaker's character, which
Oh,
I
big
can't
time.
think of his name right now all of a sudden, but he like he gets crazier every new time you see him. Like he gets
really?
more vicious
like-
and extremist as it goes. I mean, he's not even with the rebellion in Rogue One. So, by this one he's going to be in it, but
oh right.
close to being kicked out because he's so extreme. And I mean, he's not a forced person, but if he was, I mean, I think he'd be close to the dark side.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's interesting to see. Well, they haven't explored the gray side of the Force enough in Star Wars, right? Like, I want more of the like. I know there's no gray Jedi. There's no gray Jedi. Freddie Prinze Jr. is screaming.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name from Rebels?
I don't want to get on the bad
Kanan.
side of Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, right. Isn't that amazing that Freddie Prinze Jr. has so much say in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, I love it.
And he's
he
just
knows
like,
all the secrets.
there are no gray Jedi, and it's like, you know what? He's right. Kanan is right. And like, you listen to him. He's the last Padawan. You have to.
Yeah.
And I want more Kanan too. Do you think they're gonna do a live action Rebels? I think Filoni wants that.
Well, Ahsoka's going to be pretty close.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, Ezra's in it. They casted Ezra. They got did they cast? Yeah, Wait, not Skarsgård. Mickelson's brother is playing Blue Dude. Blue.
like at Darth. Is it Darth? No.
No, Thrawn.
Yes, Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is being played
Yep.
by Mads Mikkelsen's brother, Larry Mikkelsen. I can't remember his name.
Mitch Mickelson. I have no idea.
Yeah, he was in Sherlock. He played a really creepy dude in Sherlock, apparently.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, and I love So
Please.
I did watch all the animated shows, but
oh, good.
I kind of binged them, so like they all kind of blend together for me, and I wasn't always fully paying attention. Like there's a couple episodes I watched while I was in the waiting room at the Mayo Clinic. So
Oh,
it's
right.
like,
Yeah.
am I gonna get called one of these seconds? And then I would like totally lose focus of where I was. But
Oh God.
yeah, like I watched them pretty much nonstop, and
Yeah. Nonstop.
think I liked Rebels the most. I mean, Rebels is really good.
Rebels was the one I couldn't stop watching. So I was thinking when you said nonstop, I'm like, yeah, Rebels, nonstop.
Yeah, you just keep
couldn't
going.
put it. I couldn't. I would sit there and they're so digestible because they're short. And the Clone Wars are fun though because they do it like the serial that they start with. Where
Yeah.
Like, it is the wall now and the wall effort, and it's like that old school like. I
Well,
love
and
that.
like the last 3 or 4 episodes of Clone Wars that just came out, like when Disney Plus did.
Yeah.
Those are like the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen. Like if you put those together, the ones that
Yeah.
coincide with Revenge of the Sith.
Big time. Big time.
It's so good.
And the thing is, we like to do midnight premieres, and Andor is going to be a midnight premiere, which means that, like, much like when I did the Stranger Things thing at midnight, I'm probably going to be up till 5 or 6 in the morning again doing this.
Well, I was gonna say I'm out because where I'm at, that's 2 a.m.
Yeah,
when they
dude, don't
premiere,
worry.
so-
No, we won't always like. Sometimes we'll like if it's a 1-episode premiere or if it's the movie, because we've been talking about doing. We might do Prey if we can make things work out here. So far, things have been running just smoothly. It's just what I've been trying to wrap my head around here is how is it Andor, and again, I had some questions leading into this, and I totally forgot to ask these questions leading into all of this. But it was something that I felt was kind of like pertinent to everything that we're discussing, and that is okay. So why should we care about Andor, the show and characters? And I wanted to ask you that after the trailer and everything. Like, in your opinion, why should we care about Andor, the show, and the characters?
Because I think he was shady. Like, he was like, the first time we see
Paul
him, he
McCartney
murders
with a
someone.
beard.
So, like, that's not something you normally get in Star Wars. Like, they've been going back and forth with, the Han Solo shooting first thing, and Andor's like, guess what? Bang. You dead.
Good point.
I mean, he may have killed Batman's parents. We don't really know.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's Joe Chill or whoever. Oh,
yeah.
That's why he calls himself Andor. It's a code name. We should have known. No, and then, okay, so the show and the characters, I know that it's going to lead into Rogue One. So, I mean, like, essentially that's why we're supposed to care about him, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just like he's just one of the kind of grayer characters in the rebellion. Like, I mean, technically the rebellion itself is...
He's a sniper. He's an assassin. He's an assassin.
And that's his whole plan. That's his whole deal in Rogue One. He's going to kill Jin's dad, right?
Yeah,
like, isn't
Mads
that what
Mikkelsen.
his mission is?
Yeah. Oh my God! Wait, that's how they got Mads Mikkelsen's brother. They used Mads Mikkelsen. Like, hey, is your brother available for Thrawn?
Yeah, he was in it. He was the guy that essentially created the Death Star.
Yeah, he had the Kyber crystal. The Kyber crystal. But yeah. Oh my God. So then the next question I have, pardon me, I'm just sort of like gushing about this show because I think it looks so far after this trailer. I'm like, this is the best one yet. Like, excuse me,
great.
I can't say it's the best one trailer wise. This trailer has, I think, other than like the first Mando trailer when he's like kicking the door in and shooting people and like a cowboy and everything, I'm like, dude, that was dope. But this one, I'm like, yeah, I'm so for it. The next question I have is, other than the Empire, who's the bad guy? Right?
I'm assuming it's just...
This trailer wasn't very clear about the bad guy, other than it's the Empire, right? So, I mean,
I'm sure they'll reveal it as it goes. Like, I bet it's one of those things it could be Thrawn, honestly.
You're right, it could be
Timeline-wise, it would fit.
Yeah, it would. Because he would be... Yeah, because Andor could take place around that... Now I'm all lost in the Star Wars time. Doesn't that happen all the time?
This has to be a couple years before Rogue One, I would think.
So it's all over the place. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing too with the shows is they have been kind of all over. Like, Mandalorian is after Jedi, so is Boba Fett, but then Obi-Wan is 10 years after the prequels, after Revenge of the Sith. So like, and then this one is probably somewhere around Obi-Wan, or maybe a little bit after Obi-Wan, probably. Because this doesn't seem like it's that far before Rogue One. No,
not at all. It seems like it's just kind of in that... Again, I think they're going to explain that era when they get, like, when they're right through that, like, during the story. They're like, okay, there'll be, like, some Mon Mothma-like character, like, here's where we are, everybody. Okay, audience? Do you understand where we are now?
Yeah.
Good. Now stay with us. Now Andor's going to come in. Hey, I'm Andor. Now here's where we're going, everybody.
Well, I hope Jimmy Smits has a cameo or something in this, too.
We got Jimmy Smits again?
I don't know. I hope so. I hope he's in it.
Anytime Jimmy Smits shows up, it feels
in anything, right?
There's more gravitas there. It's like he's like a Harrison Ford when he shows up. I don't know why. It's just Jimmy Smits. It's like he's got so much charisma.
I love that we got. I mean, we didn't get as much in Obi-Wan as I kind of wanted, but like,
I hear you.
What we did, I was like, that's tremendous. I'm fine with it. I was satisfied with the amount, but he does add something, and I can't figure.
He does.
The Jimmy Smits of it all.
He
just adds Jimmy Smits.
And you need that. He's like a Goldblum in Star Wars, right? Like, you just got to have that.
Yeah.
And, okay, so I guess, other than the Empire, we're not really sure. Maybe it's Thrawn. Maybe it's somebody else who's the bad guy. Okay, so I guess the other question is, like, what's the plot, essentially, here? Because we know that he's got to do stuff for the rebellion, and we know that he's going against the Empire. But this trailer didn't really tell us if there's a main bad guy, who it is, and it didn't really tell us, like, what the plot technically is, I don't feel. Right?
No, and I like that. I mean, I think it's just kind of the beginning.
Thank you. I agree.
And I mean, I don't want to know everything.
I like it to be something where in my head I imagine something, and then even if it's completely different, it's still really great because, like, that's the fun of it. Like, I don't want to know everything. Like with Mandalorian, if we knew there was a baby Yoda in Mandalorian, we all would have flipped shit immediately. Pardon my language, but we would have. For
sure.
But we didn't. We had no idea because Filoni and Favreau were smart, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna let you know till the end of the first episode, and then, dude, you're gonna be like, I'm in love with this thing, like whatever this is.
You know, it's funny. Did you see a couple weeks ago Joe Dante said in an interview like he was mad about he thought it kind of ripped off Gizmo. I'm in the camp where I agree with that.
You know,
like I know Yoda was first. There's no question about that. Yoda was before Gremlins, but
it's different enough though, right? Right?
But but
I mean, I'm just trying to skip by.
Like Gizmo. That's the thing. Like he acted like Gizmo.
He did. He did at first. He kind of had some. You know what? You're right, because he was confined to the crib, and he was more confined. So he was just
make like little noises and gestures, and I'm like, he's just a hairless Gizmo, and
but that's fine though. But that's okay because it's Star Wars's hairless cat Gizmo, and that's Baby Yoda. Come on, he's just the Baby Yoda. Damn it, Jay, don't ruin this for everyone. We love Baby Yoda. Stop bringing your Joe Dante facts and logic into everything.
Well, I'm sorry. I just like Gremlins 2 a lot.
You know what? Gremlins 2... Gremlins 2 is the best. Are you kidding me? Like where they're filming in Toronto, Canada, but saying it's New York City.
Oh, yes. It's great.
It's one of the best things ever. I have it DVD right here. I love it. Oh my God. Gremlins 2.
It's one of my favorite sequels ever. It's just so it's like, you know what? We don't need to exist, but we're gonna be insane.
We talked about Hulkster interrupting movies. This was years ago. I think we had a conversation, you and I, years ago, like probably back in college about this, where I was like, aren't movies just, we were like, I wish more movies had Hulk Hogan interrupting them to like save the day, or to like, don't worry folks, it's gonna be fine, like like these gremlins aren't gonna cause any more problems for you, or the Hulkster's gonna mess them up. Like you're like, yeah dude, like I wish that
more Hulk cameos. That's what I always say.
Just deep fake Hulk into
everywhere. If he's an Andor, I'll be super happy.
Even better, Macho Man Savage. Oh yeah, in anything. Oh my God, tremendous. So now we've got to discuss what the hell is going on in general with Star Wars here. This is something I wanted to ask you. Movies have been put on the side burner for Star Wars, and we are now focusing predominantly on TV. Smart move by Kathy Kennedy.
I think that's a good idea.
Very smart. She's made, arguably missteps, right? We've had missteps, arguably. So
yeah, but I mean, I would say the prequels are a misstep, and that was George Lucas.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love the prequels.
Oh yeah.
We were in college right before the third one came out together.
This is true.
And like I just really enjoy that time, I guess. So there's a lot of nostalgia that goes into the prequels for me, and so I mean, they're not good movies. I would never say they're. Well, there's parts that are really good. There are moments that are amazing, but I think the best stuff was in the previously on first episode of Obi-Wan.
Oh my God.
That summed it up so great.
Everything between Anakin and Obi-Wan in that show, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and you knew it was Hayden in the costume the whole time because you could just tell it was Hayden because he moved and had and you could and he was really acting, and he finally got to act in the suit and be Vader. That's what I wanted. We all wanted more of that. We thought we were going to get more of that in the prequels, remember? We were like, now he's going to be Vader. Okay, now it's like...
he just has the name. Okay, I get it. But now it's like... And once you get to like that final episode and, the moment happens...
Yes.
It all really ties it together because I said this... There's an episode I did of the Rewatch Podcast, like... I think it was last...
By the way, link in description below. The link is in the description below. So if you want to check out the Rewatch Podcast, we have it down there. You don't have to like Google search or anything. It's right down there. Click it and stick it. All right, sorry, Jay.
There was a one where I was kind of going over all of them, and there's always been a disconnect with me with Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. Like, I've just never really seen them as one character, and then so I think this show really helped bring them to one character for me. Like, I'm like, okay, now I see the full transformation because you still got a little bit of that Anakin there, and you got to see it a little bit more. Especially you got to see him hack and slash at kids, which they finally revealed that, and
horrifying.
Like, well, that's what I always needed. Like, I don't want to see that, but
no,
at least now I I see that
you
he's
had
the
to
same
know that
character.
Vader was Space Hitler, and you had to kind of have that awful garbage. But it was George Lucas's. I mean, he went there, and so when you see Vader and Hayden Christensen, Anakin, terrorizing that family and that village, as awful as it was, part of the Star Wars fandom was like, awesome, and that's bad, but it's so good.
It's like the end of Rogue One, where he's like he's like Jason Voorhees at the end of Rogue One.
Brr.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need that because you never really saw that, and like the Vader that you got for like the glimpse in the prequels, that doesn't exist in the original trilogy. So it's like
exactly, but
it's nice to have that bridge.
And we needed that, I think, and we need that as fans. We wanted that as fans, and the show took advantage of that. And now I'm worried about the movies, and that's kind of what I talked about what the hell's going on in general with Star Wars. Like, why do you feel like did the movies just kind of take a misstep, and they're just really, I mean, right? Like, so they're really just hanging off on them, right? Like,
well,
that's what's going on?
So Force Awakens did really well, and I liked Force Awakens. I like that probably the most. And then they did, the side movies like Rogue One and Solo, and those didn't do well. Solo especially didn't do well. And then, the other movies were just, they didn't have a plan. Like,
I'm laughing at Solo doing bad. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but I'm like, it didn't do good. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed though, because it should have been. Like, Alden Ehrenreich was great.
He did a good job, and I loved Lando. I thought he was,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover is great in it.
He was like the coolest. He was basically Billy D. That's what you do. You play Billy D, because Billy D was being Billy D. So then you get
the movie version of Darth Maul being back alive, which has only been in this animated series until that point. So
that was amazing.
Technically he could be in this. We don't know, his timeline it would fit.
I think honestly that if he, if Donald Glover wants to come back and do the show, please God, I want Donald Glover to come back and do the show.
I would be kind of surprised if he did, honestly, but I want that to happen.
I mean, he won't, because we want that to happen.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, and then they won't do it.
He's busy doing Atlanta. He can't, and probably 50 other things.
God, Atlanta's a good show. God, all those shows are good.
I've only seen the first season, but I've heard it's great. Like, I liked it a lot. I just haven't gotten back to it.
It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It is. Atlanta is like Curb Your Enthusiasm, just like a younger
Enthusiasm mixed with Twin Peaks.
Kind of, yeah. Oh my God, it is. Oh, more like Northern Exposure, actually. Yeah. You remember that show?
By the way, my wife and I watched that a couple of years ago. We ended up buying all of it and watching it. And
Northern Exposure, awesome.
Yeah, that is one of the weirdest shows I've ever seen. That was not what I thought it was when I was growing up.
God, it's too good. Dr. Joel Fleischman going off to a town in Alaska. They filmed that out in Washington State.
Oh, really?
It's a few hours outside of Seattle. It was just like, dude, it's a real town. It's still there. You can go there. It's I keep forgetting the name of it. Roslyn, Washington. Mm-hmm. It's a real town. You can go Northern. Sorry, of course we have a Northern Exposure conversation when we're talking about Star Wars. That's the problem with Star Wars. There's not enough Northern Exposure in it, or Dr. Joel Fleischman, or that DJ. That guy was my favorite character. Remember him?
Yeah, he was great.
He was the best part. He was in Sex and the City. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So basically the problem with Star Wars is that the movies are kind of misstepping. We've got Taika Waititi's film coming up.
Yeah, and he said it doesn't have anything to do with the Skywalkers, and I think that's probably a great idea.
And then we got, was it Patty Jenkins?
That movie got scrapped.
So that's
not
scrapped.
Happening. As far as I know, that's not happening anymore.
Okay, so that is scrapped. Then we got, who else did we get? Kevin Feige. He's got his film.
Yeah, I think that's pretty far away. I mean,
really?
They haven't been specific at all of when things are going to happen.
God, what phase are they on? 6?
For Marvel?
Yeah. 7?
They're technically on 4, but they've announced 5 and 6.
Oh my God. Okay, so Marvel for the next 100 years, and then Batman is sitting there going, "I got one more movie."
Well, okay, I know we're doing Star Wars, but we're big Batman fans.
Big time. We're
gonna
cover
we
that.
Became really good friends. So, did you see the thing that just came out today about Batgirl?
What?
They scrapped it. They've canceled it.
Which one?
Entirely. The Batgirl movie that was going to be on HBO Max with Keaton. He's in it.
It was going to be Batman Beyond, basically, right? Like, but with Batgirl.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Discovery has reportedly decided to cancel the release of Batgirl indefinitely, both in theaters and on HBO. And it's done. Like, apparently the movie's done.
They're just sexist.
But
That's
they're
what
like,
happened.
nope, not happening.
You know, whatever. I mean, how could Ezra Miller mess that up? I'm assuming it's him doing
Somehow
it.
he messed that up too.
He's like, you can't stop me. Oh my God, he's nuts. I want to see that Flash movie. I want to see that Flash movie. You got to make that.
I wonder if that's I mean, they've got to have it. I mean, it's huge, but like, do you put that out? If it was anybody else, I don't know that you
put it out. DC will make millions. Are you kidding me? The controversy alone, people would love that film. They would eat it up. HBO
DC
Max. How about that?
DC is more cursed than the Star Wars movies right now.
Right. No, you're right. DC is
every time they get something good started, something happens and it derails it.
And then we're just back. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So
the sequel trilogy, like, I didn't really dislike any of them. I mean, Last Jedi, I was in the camp of I didn't really care for that one that much. I liked stuff in it. And Rise of Skywalker, I actually laughed quite a bit in that one because some of it is just so over the top and such fan service. It's so much fan service. It's ridiculous. But I enjoy it. Like, I have a good time watching it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I
can't say anything bad too much about it.
They were trying to course correct, but it got weird. Like, it got so weird with the course correct. It got like, what? Now there's space forces.
Overcorrected. They overcorrected big time.
Palpatine's back. Like, even
that
Poe's
didn't make sense.
Even Poe's line was somehow Palpatine's returned, and everyone's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, shut up over there. Like, we're doing it anyway. That's what it felt like.
It was just like, we're not even. I mean,
we're not even trying anymore.
I can say, like, so do you watch any of the Fast and Furious movies?
Of course I do. I'm a red-blooded American man living in America.
So I have a whole series. My wife joined the podcast for me.
Oh, hey.
And we went over all of them. Not here. Well, like when we did we went over all the movies. And so we led right to, in fact, the last Fast and Furious movie was the first time I got back in theaters since the pandemic. And I'm like, you know what? Is this worth risking my life? No and yes at the exact same time.
No and yes.
But like Palpatine coming back and them not really explaining anything, it was like Han. Like they didn't even try to explain Han coming back. They're just
he walks in.
He's here. Why? How did that happen?
And Chewie.
That guy's good. He knows what to do. I'm like, okay, well that's fine. That's all I need to know.
He's like, we're home, and we're like, okay, but where did you come from? I abducted
you. Explode?
Yeah, I stole my own shit back, I guess, somehow. I don't know. I happen to be here. I know it had a homing device. Whatever.
Same thing for me. Is Han and Palpatine came back at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not even going to bother to give you a good explanation. It's just like, he's here, deal with it.
Yeah. Somehow, Han Solo has returned.
Quit bitching, nerds.
Yeah, deal with it. And nerds are like, yes, please, yay, more Han Solo. Like, I'm fine with that. You know what? They're right. You know what? Even that, but it was early days bringing it back into theaters. That was the thing. It was Force Awakens. We were all like, yes, please, anything that isn't like what
and it was fun. Like, I really enjoy The Force Awakens. I think that one. I mean, there's so much. They left so much open to have fun with the rest of the series. And then they just didn't stick with any of it. Like, you could tell Rian Johnson was like, I don't care about most of the stuff you introduced. So I'm just going to either not bring it up or get rid of it real quick. And then, like...
Rian Johnson just threw the lightsaber behind him.
Yeah. That made me laugh. I'll admit, I thought that was funny. But, like, I don't know. It was just... You could tell the stuff that he didn't really care about. Kind of like Taika Waititi with the Thor movies. It's like you can tell the things he doesn't really want to deal with, and he just gets rid of it. Like, the Guardians are barely, they're huge in the commercials.
Yeah.
They're in it for like 5 minutes. He's like, they kind of have to be here for story, but I don't really care. So I'm just going to make them go away real fast.
Well, and then we once the Porgs were gone, and I think everyone was kind of okay with the Porgs being gone, but I liked the Porgs. I didn't think they were bad.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with them. Why not give Chewie a friend? His friend just died.
Yeah, he ate one and then he like became friends with one.
Then he felt
and,
bad.
Yeah, it was like a whole arc, right? Like whatever. But Rain Johnson, it's like someone was saying, it's like you ever like when you were kids and you'd play on the playground with other kids and one kid would come in and you'd all be saying, okay, let's all go and fight the bad guy. And then one kid would say, oh, but the bad guy is actually the good guy.
Yeah.
And you guys are the bad guys. And you're like, shut up, Tim. We're trying to play a goddamn game, right? And you're ruining our fun. That's what Rain Johnson felt like in the Star Wars universe, where he was like, I'm going to flip the premise because I can, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but dude, we're having fun. Like, we're all on the same team having fun here, and you're literally kind of just jamming a wrench in the works, and it feels arbitrary. I don't know. I mean, we were all bitching about Last Jedi, but then Rise of Skywalker did it the wrong way, too. So
yeah, they went the complete opposite direction. It's like, because it felt like they were still doing the third movie that was based on the first movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but you didn't do like, they tried to make the friendship happen between the three leads. I'm like, but we haven't spent time with any of them together.
And we don't really know, like the two leads that we loved, like Poe and Finn together, they separated them. Like,
yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Like Poe and Finn were the best part. Like when their friendship, their bromance, and then like Rey hanging out with Han and Rey hanging out with Luke, that was all the best stuff too. Like all that stuff was.
Even in all of them, even in Last Jedi, like if it dealt with Jedi stuff, I thought it was really good.
That's the point of the movies. The movies have to be about the Jedi and
and I thought they did those fine, but it was just like the rest of it, everything that was surrounding it, they were just so not focused. Like say what you want about the prequels, but at least you knew where you were going, and you could tell there was actually a plan of where they were going to go.
This is a good point. They did have more of a plan with the prequels because it was one singular kind of person.
Yeah, it was one vision.
Yeah, and he was kind of crafting it, and he was kind of, even though it was sort of based on Dinotopia. Did you know that, by the way? Did you know that the first movie... Okay, so you know Dinotopia? Do you remember Dinotopia? The books where dinosaurs are in like weird colonial times or something. Like there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't know that I've ever read them, but I know they are.
Get this: George Lucas was going to make a Dinotopia movie or a series of movies about these dinosaurs that like are incorporated into like this sort of like industrial like colonial times or whatever with like weird...
I'd watch it.
Yeah, right? Well, he felt like it would have been a misstep, so he took all those Dinotopia designs and used it for Naboo and used it for Star Wars. And Jar Jar Binks was a character that was going to be in Dinotopia, that is a part of Dinotopia, but he renamed it. I can't remember what... Yeah, Blix. Blix was the character's name in Dinotopia. That was this little derpy... goofy
I mean, they could have left it the same.
And he basically kind of just made him the same character in Star Wars, and he kind of used Dinotopia. It's the weirdest for the prequels, right? And so that's where he came up with a lot. So if people felt like the prequels were kind of weird, it's because he was using Dinotopia production designs and recycling. And
so
that's
bizarre.
Yeah, that's why. And then when he did the other ones, they felt more in line with everything. So he was really trying really hard to make it more alien and make it more unique and more like, hey, they're incorporating the aliens and this is an alien world and they're like, right? So, I mean, I can kind of see where Lucas was going with that. But now that we have all these new movies and now that all these other filmmakers are coming, we've got all these people to direct. I guess the final question is, where do we want the shows to go? Do we want the shows to go into the movies, like the future films coming out? Like, do I want to watch a show that leads into a movie? Because
I think I'd rather just watch them as shows, to be honest.
Yeah?
Like, I think long-form Star Wars is working better than anything that they've done before. Like, I think Boba Fett was it wasn't the best, but I still liked it, and I mean, I
you know which part was the best part? Sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry I interrupted you. You know which part was the best part of the Book of Boba Fett?
What?
You know, I'm gonna just quiz you.
Okay.
What was the best part of the Book of Boba Fett?
I liked it when the Rancor was like King Kong.
Oh, dude, I thought you were gonna say, okay, for me, it was the part that had nothing to do with Boba Fett at all, and they went to the Luke's Jedi.
Mandalorian?
That was Boba Fett. That was
but I mean, it became Mandalorian.
Thank you. It basically became Mandalorian again, and I'm like, my favorite part of Book of Boba Fett was when it was Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, I think the problem with Boba Fett is that Mandalorian came out.
Well,
and they did a show called Mandalorian, and that's what we always wanted for Boba Fett. So it's like, you don't really need Boba Fett. we've got the Mandalorian.
Yeah, you're right. And then we get Mando, and then they're like, let's do Boba anyway. And like, well, crap, we can't do Kitty. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I have 4 of them, but I don't know how this one even got in.
Awesome. The Luke stuff, the Jedi Temple Luke stuff.
Oh, so good.
Dude, when that happened, I'm like, can we just stay here with Luke and Ahsoka and teach new Jedi? And
I mean, Luke and Ahsoka
show?
even talking? How great is that?
Yeah, let's just make this the show, and we'll do this and Boba Fett can go hang out, and we'll stay here with Luke and
he
everyone.
He can do what he wants.
That's all I've ever wanted as a Star Wars fan, is to watch that show, and I thought they would do an animated thing. I don't know, but I mean, so you think it's going to lead from like the TV shows will lead into movies in the future?
It could. I mean, I could see Ahsoka popping up and stuff. I don't know if it'll ever be one. I don't know if it'll ever be one. Like Mandalorian's going to a movie, because I think it probably works better as like an actual long form series. But
makes sense. Yeah.
I think they could definitely use characters to plop into other things. I mean, why not?
Might as well.
That's what Marvel's doing. I mean, they're gonna.
And Marvel's directly linking up the TV with the movies, like Falcon Winter Soldier, right, and all those other shows, Scarlet Witch, all of it.
What was your favorite of the Marvel shows?
Ooh, okay. Honestly, man, this is hard. Loki was so good. It was so much fun.
WandaVision for me.
Which one was it?
WandaVision for me.
Oh, yeah, that one sparked it for me. But then when I saw Loki, I'm like, dude, this is like weird Doctor Who, but but Tom Hiddleston and now Owen Wilson's there, and it's like, wow. Like, I'm like, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, and I mean, I really haven't disliked any of them. I haven't finished Miss Marvel, so I mean, I think that says something. But I'm not the target audience for Miss Marvel. That's
same.
That was clear. I knew that from the second I started watching. I'm like, I am a 40-year-old man. This is not for me.
I'm on the same boat, man.
This is a young adult novel, is what this is, and that's totally fine. I think they could go that direction. Why not?
Good for her. Good for Miss Marvel and everybody on that production.
I liked Hawkeye a lot too. I thought Hawkeye was a fun show.
I ditched Hawkeye.
Really? I loved Hawkeye. I thought it was fun.
I'm like, what? It was basically Clint Barton, My Life as a Weapon, right? It was essentially that one, which is great. Don't get me wrong. That's a great story. I was just like, Hawkeye's. I've already seen Arrow, and so for me, I got my bow and arrow dude, like Arrow, like Steve
I jumped off of the Arrow. Like the CW shows, I was all in for a while,
right?
And then there became way too many.
Yeah, dude, they just
so many shows, and they were all the same show. I mean, I loved them, but they were the same thing. So I got really burnt out. And then when Marvel started doing it on Netflix, I really liked those.
Yeah,
but I still never finished Jessica Jones. I didn't finish Punisher because I was like, Punisher's never been my guy. Daredevil was always my guy. Daredevil and Batman and Superman are like my 3 favorites. And so I like the new Superman show. I love Daredevil, and I'm excited that he's gonna be back in it. But I knew elements of Daredevil were gonna be in Hawkeye, or I didn't know that, but like I noticed in the first episode. Well, I knew Echo was, and Echo is a Daredevil character.
That's that's right.
That's interesting. And then there's definitely hints of other characters that were going to be involved that ended up being involved, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. This is great.
And now they're bringing Daredevil back to Disney Plus. Not back, but on Disney Plus.
He's going to be in, for some reason, he's going to be in She-Hulk. Well, I guess she's an attorney, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, right? Well, yeah, I mean, they're probably going to have a case. Oh, I can't wait for that. And
he's Yellow Daredevil, too, this time.
Really? He's going to be in the yellow suit?
It's a new version of. It's kind of like a mixture of his Netflix one and a new yellow one. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Dude, I am blown away that they're gonna do the yellow, because Daredevil has the variant suit. He has different variant suits, but the yellow was one of the more popular ones that fans really liked. And I can't believe they're actually gonna do that. That's you know what? It draws the line of distinction from the Netflix to the Disney, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Which you kind of need a little visual aid there. And also, the guy playing Daredevil's awesome. Like, I can't.
Oh, he's great. I loved him in Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's right. He became Daredevil.
And She-Hulk. This looks great, too. So, all of this stuff coming up. Andor will be coming up on the 31st of August, year of our Lord 2022. And then we also have She-Hulk will be coming up. That'll be August 5th. That's coming up. No, not August 5th. Sorry, 17th. August 17th is She-Hulk. But don't forget, Prey is coming out on the 5th of August, as well as Sandman on Netflix. So we're going to be covering.
I've never read any of the Sandman, which is crazy because that seems like something I would like, but I've never read it. So I haven't been overly excited for that. And Prey is weird because I'm more of an Alien guy than I am Predator, but I think both series are not good. They've got really good movies.
True.
But overall, I've never been huge into Predator other than the first movie. I loved the first movie.
You know, well, I like Predator 2 with Danny Glover.
I've only seen it once. I've only seen
partial.
it one time, and I liked it, but
it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think it was as good as the first one.
Oh, fair enough. For me, I just really love Danny Glover just being just haggard and over.
Just a surly old man.
Just, oh, God damn it, Predator. I'm so sick of having to fight you. It's just awesome. It was just, that's why I liked it. And then the lore with the gun. And that gun is going to be in Prey, by the way. That Danny Glover gets at the end of Predator 2 is going to be in Prey. The flintlock pistol, with the name on it. So, that's going to be good stuff. But, man, thanks for joining me on this one, Jay, for Andor, the trailer reaction review. What do you give this out of 5, I guess, Star Wars? Out of 5 Star Wars.
5 Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer, I'd give it a 5 for sure because...
Solid 5.
The trailer's got me excited. It's got me wanting to watch it. And so far, I've liked everything I've seen. So I'm really looking forward to the show.
It is a solid 5. I agree. Seconded. I agree. It is a solid 5. It looks like what you want, more of what you want. In fact, they're like putting even more, jamming it full because they have a whole show to do it. The most episodes, Jay said. And also check out the Rewatch Podcast. Links in the description below. Check out, and if you want to help us out in the show, we got a Venmo, we got a PayPal, we could use it. But also, if you want to help out the Homeless Veterans Association or St. Jude's Children's Hospital, those are great funds as well. Jay, do you have any charities or anything you want to pimp as well, other than the Rewatch Podcast?
Well, I wish I did. Now you're making me feel like a total piece of garbage because I don't. You
are a piece of garbage. No, I'm kidding. No, Jay's. How about this? The charity of Jay. Help Jay out and be a better
exactly.
Jay.
No, go to yourfortdodge.com.
There you go.
Listen to the Rewatch Podcast. I also do a morning show with my co-host Jandy Morgan on Mix 94.5. So you can listen to that live Central Time on every day on yourfortdodge.com. You can listen at 6 a.m. and then new episodes of the Rewatch Podcast drop on Friday mornings at 6. So
Friday mornings at 6. Rewatch Podcast.
Ready
Check
to go.
It out. Description, links below. Jay Thomas on air with us on the stream. This has been a blast and a half. Catching up with you about everything, dude. Stay with me as we go off air so we can talk about what's going on for the next thing. But this has been a blast and a half. Thank you, Jay. Thank you guys out there, and we'll be back. I believe we're going to be doing Prey and Sandman coming up around the 5th. Jay might be joining us for some. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Otherwise,
we'll see how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll check you on the flippy floppy. Peace, my dudes and dudettes. Yeah. Why?
Nice.